morning, class. I am pleased to see everybody alive. Now, I know some of you got banged up pretty good, but at least you ain't stuck in the hospital still like myself. Doc ain't gonna let me go, as you can well see. Shield, you mind coming on over and adjusting the camera so I can see the rest of the students? Thank you. And, yep, so I'm stuck here in my bed. Ain't that something? It's not like it's kept me down before, but, you know, getting a bunch of shrapnel to the gut kind of slows you down a little bit. So, but we got to continue on with the class. So here we go. We're going to be talking about Corvettes, and thank your lucky stars we didn't come across them. Alright, so a Corvette, the smallest and easiest to build, maintain, and deploy of the capital ships. Corvettes are also the most numerous. Most Corvettes are between 300 to 500 meters long, and with their width varying between 150 to 200 meters. They're big. They are beastly. Since these vessels can be outfitted to perform virtually any task in the fleet, one might consistently face all of its variants on a given battlefield. The standard multi-purpose variant of this warship has a small strike craft hangar, and most often than not carries a battalion of strong infantry units. It's most often, it's just say likely. Its hangar bay can hold in service up to a squadron-size strike craft unit, and most Corvettes usually carry fighters since their roles is to create another layer of defense for the fleet. So they put their mini shields out there, and just, you know, when you got a bunch of Corvettes, it's just a wall. Don't even bother with the other ships that are accompanying it, the bigger ones. Let's see. If they are not part of some bigger fleet group, which is a scary sight, a single Corvette can be, in most cases, the lead capital ship, which was the case with our previous fleet. With one entire strike group formed around it. Armament-wise, Corvettes have strong point defense batteries, missiles, and torpedoes, and also small caliber cannons, which can throw shells the size of your body. Ain't that something? Now, I just add that little part in there because, well, just to kind of put something in perspective. Fluffy, they're about your size, so oh, try not to laugh, that hurts too much. Those are often particle beam guns fitted in armored turrets, and in case of the Corvettes is Terrans, a railgun, because, well, we really love our railguns, don't we? The number of turrets that are fitted in most Corvette varies from barely a dozen to more than 20, which, yeah, is more than a dozen. And it's, some vessels sporting dual and even triple cannons per turret, which is redundancy at its finest. Oh, shit. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. Sorry, class. It's just my nature. I like to laugh, like to giggle, like to tickle, and I just can't do it no more. Not right now. I'm off the pain meds at the moment just so I can do this because it makes me kind of groggy. You can imagine what I sound like when I get groggy. So, no matter the star state that owns and fields these warships, for their opponents, they are a force to be reckoned with. Corvettes do not go down easy since they have thicker armor. Often their hulls are heavily reinforced and equipped with more than one shield generator. The extra troops that they carry make them a hard target for boarding. Basically, think of it this way: if for whatever reason you had a pirate vessel or a group of them going on and they managed to get on board, it would be a very short fight. It would be a one-sided fight. The pirates would be suicidal, to say the least. Many also have internal security systems, which is part of that suicidal part. Anti-material turrets, deployable armor plates that block certain ship corridors, energy fields, deflectors, and even mines are deployed in the protection of the ship. With such a defensive system, assaulting any Corvette is a living nightmare, except if the attacker employs power armor or other types of heavy infantry. Nevertheless, almost any boarding attempt made is met with overwhelming force, and many of the attackers die even before their mag boots touch the Corvette's hull, and that is the honest truth. I believe it was early on, and there were some pirates that tried to get a Corvette before. It didn't end well for them. Oh, there's that laugh. The commanders of the Terran monarchy have, as always, their own specific and vastly different than the other star states' way of building and employing Corvettes in battle. The Colonial Navy strike teams are formed around one heavy modified Corvette, which acts as a flagship for the highly mobile unit. The Terran Corvette is essentially a fast-moving light carrier that still has its main defensive weapons, but lacks half of the armored turrets presented in most standard alien designs. Instead of one meager squadron, the Terrans can usually deploy three. Of that, one is always a bomber, and the other two fighter squadrons. Forming around the Corvette are a couple of the squadrons of raid ships and escorts who, together with their flagship significantly larger than normal strike craft complement, represent the offensive punch of the strike team. To compensate for the lack of cannons, Terran Corvettes are equipped with torpedo emplacements, bow, port, starboard, and aft. That is a lot of torpedoes to put out there. With some starships even sporting dorsal and ventral torpedo launchers. Think of it. You get a Corvette surrounded by a bunch of baddies, and suddenly there are torpedoes flying in absolutely every direction. That's quite the thought, ain't it? The size of the ordnance is exactly the same as their bomber launch, and in case that they're either is damaged and the other can't take them. So basically it's like this. If the bomber can't take it because it's damaged, well, Corvette can use it. If the Corvette has any damage and they have a surplus, well, guess what? The bomber can use it. So, standardization, I suppose. Alright, the strike Corvette, as Terrans call them, this design is almost never sent in the first attack wave. After their enemies have been significantly damaged, their formation shattered, and specifically starships isolated, then and only then will the strike Corvette slip out of hyperspace, reinforcing its strike craft squadron and devastating torpedo volleys. So basically a wall of pain. Ops officers serving on these starships are also proficient in the use of their EWS systems. That is, that they literally overload their enemy's sensors with all sorts of fake signals. So much so that it has become now a decade-old tradition of the fringe space navies to call Terran strike corvettes hell tricksters. Well, I guess you could just call them Lokis. Well, ain't that something? Well, I believe that's all we got right now, and that's all the energy I can really spare for this. Oh, but before I go, I just want to say that I'm highly impressed with how everybody reacted to the situations as it degraded out there when we were vacating the planet and getting to this new facility. I am very pleased and I am very impressed with your professionalism, and you've all improved greatly. So from here on out, I ain't gonna call you Nubs no more. You've earned that title of cadet. You've earned it. And so I will, from here on out, refer to you as such by your appropriate title. Alright, cadets. It's time to go. Carry on. Oh, don't forget to study your material. Heal up. Get that R&R you've so rightly deserved. Alright, now carry on.